How Stranger Things Season 4 Volume 2 could end. With only a couple of days to go until Season 4 Volume 2 gets released, I thought I'd create a video that outlined how I believe Season 4 Volume 2 could potentially finish. I'm going to try and incorporate all of the different elements of what we've seen so far, and also the clips and glimpses from the trailer. So let's get into it. Here is how Stranger Things Season 4 Volume 2 could end. Just to let you know, this video will contain spoilers. So we left off Stranger Things Season 4 Volume 1, with Nancy being held captive by Vecna inside of her own mind, with Vecna slowly revealing his true identity and origin story to her. The group discovering the gateway into the Upside Down, based on all of the locations where Vecna claimed his victims, Eleven still inside Project Nina, and realizing the true identity of Peter Ballard, and that it was in fact Number 1, and that he caused the Hawkins facility massacre that Eleven believed that she had caused many years ago. We also had Hopper in the Russian prison being reunited with Joyce and Murray, and Mike, Will, Jonathan and Argyle finding the location of Project Nina, and looking like they were most certainly going to be heading towards it. So there are a lot of things going on and a lot to pick up from in the final 2 episodes that we've got left to play out. I'm going to break this video down into a high-level overview of multiple different sections. Eleven waking up, following Eleven witnessing the true identity of Number 1, and seeing that he caused the massacre in the facility, she's likely going to be fearful of the fact that he's inside of the Upside Down, and potentially still alive, previously not knowing that he was there and the danger that it caused. It would then all finally make sense to her, to why she had no recollection of any events, why she could barely speak the language in Season 1, and why she was the only person that Brenner was focusing on in the facility. I believe armed with the information, this will lead her to wanting to go back to Hawkins, and now knowing what she and the entirety of Hawkins is up against, face off with Vecna with the aim of keeping everybody safe from him. She knows just how dangerous he is, she knows his backstory, and she's beaten him before, so I feel that may be something that she believes that she has going in her favor when they eventually meet again. Plus, I believe it's here where we'll see that she's regained all of her powers and she's stronger than ever. Mike and Will search for Eleven. One of the first things that I think we'll see addressed is Mike and Will's hunt for Eleven. Following them going to Susie's house, they seeked out the location of Project Nina, where I believe we'll see them go and find the location and locate Eleven. However, not before we see the agents that were on their tail also going after them as well, which in turn could lead them to Nina where Eleven is. This is where I believe we'll see the ambush of the location, and the shot of Eleven utilizing her powers inside of the facility, as it will be the first time she will have likely used her powers on that scale for a long while. She'll fall weak, and this is where I believe we'll see Brenner do all that he can to get her out of the facility alive, where we'll then witness him being killed, and in doing so the first death of the season will occur. We've seen Brenner be brought back as a character, so that we could bridge the past and present together, and understand the origins of not only Vecna, but also Eleven, in the sense that we now know what occurred in 1979, prior to Eleven ending up with the group in the early 80s. Brenner's purpose has been served. I feel there will be a small arc of redemption in the sense that he'll sacrifice himself in order to save her, and the papa that we came to know will arrive one final time. This is then where we will likely see the shot of Eleven blowing up the facility too. The agents will be closing in and she'll utilize her newly adopted, rediscovered powers to wipe them all out instantaneously, thus leaving herself, Mike, Will, Jonathan and Argyle able to head back to Hawkins, where we'll then see them go and find the rest of the group that are not inside of the Upside Down. This is where I also think we'll hear Eleven tell the story and discovery of Vecna and Number 1, and where we'll see Will then begin to explain how he knows of Vecna, and how Vecna won't stop, not until he's taken everybody. I think we'll see that when Will was used as a host by the Mind Flayer back in the early seasons of the show, there will still have been a part of him that was connected to the Upside Down and all that occurs there since he was there. We know that everything inside of the Upside Down is connected, and I believe that Will has been connected for all of this time, maybe without him even knowing. Billy was used as a host but never lived to tell the tale, so we don't truly know what it's like for somebody to be used and then survive other than Will, who has been extremely reserved and kept to himself, maybe because he knows what's going on and the threat of it. That, or when he was younger and inside of the Upside Down, he could have encountered Vecna where he was told this information directly by him. He may have perceived it to be the Flayer, when it could have been Vecna voicing it to him. Vecna is considered to be the 5-star general of the Upside Down, so he's likely been involved in the disappearances and claiming of victims throughout the entirety of the show. After this, I believe we'll see them arrive in Hawkins. Nancy's discovery of Vecna. With Volume 1 finishing off with Nancy being shown the origin of the character Vecna, I think we'll see her get outside of this dreamlike state and survive it. She was shown that Vecna was Henry Creel, but I believe she'll also be shown that Henry Creel was in fact number 1, and had a prior connection to 11. Nancy will see the scene of the Hawkins facility massacre, which we saw a glimpse of in the Volume 2 trailer. But I also think she'll see the scene of 11 beating number 1, where he was then sent to the Upside Down and became the being that is known as Vecna. Robin will go back to Nancy's house once Steve notifies them that she's stuck in this state. I say Robin because she was the one who noticed Nancy's tapes when they were searching through all of her things. And then once they have the tapes, they'll give her the music, and this will in turn bring Nancy back from that state, where we'll then see them escape from the Upside Down and back into reality. Preparing for battle. With Nancy, Steve, Robin, Eddie, Dustin, Lucas, Max and Erica all united in one place, which is in Eddie's trailer, we'll likely see them devise a plan on how best to re-enter the Upside Down and destroy Vecna in his own place, the Creel house. Nancy, equipped with her wealth of knowledge on Vecna and also Henry Creel, which I think is going to be important, she'll know that he likely resides in the attic of the Creel house, inside of the Upside Down, where Henry used to spend all of his time in reality. I believe they will drop off Max, Lucas and Erica to safeguard the Creel house in the real world, as they know the importance of it and the connection it can bridge, as well as keeping Max as far away from Vecna as possible. And we'll then see Nancy, Steve, Eddie, Robin and Dustin head back towards Eddie's trailer where there's a gateway into the Upside Down. We know this based off of a few shots that we've had in the Volume 2 trailer. From there, I believe we'll see Eddie and Dustin safeguarding the trailer in the Upside Down and acting as gatekeepers to ensure nothing enters the real world from there, and we'll then see Nancy, Robin and Steve heading to the Creel house armed with a wide array of weapons in order to seek out and destroy Vecna in his own location. Whilst that's going on, this is where I believe we'll see Eddie on his guitar as a way of distracting all of the Demobats and luring them towards where they are in the trailer. We know that the Demobats seem to guard the Upside Down, and especially the Creel house, so this will free up the pathway and allow Nancy, Steve and Robin to head over to the house with less obstacles in their way. However, it looks like it's going to attract them inside of the trailer, as we saw them looking panicked in one of the shots in the Volume 2 trailer. I think we could potentially see Eddie go on to be death number 2 in the show, as we saw Dustin running away from the trailer and screaming from the top of his voice, Eddie, as he may well be taken by one of the Demobats that he lured over there. Vecna is likely going to sense them coming, but I think the shot of Vecna walking down the stairs is going to be when Steve, Nancy and Robin arrive at the Creel house. I think he's at his strongest when he's in the attic, and we'll likely see them head there where we have the shot of Nancy firing at him, with Steve in the background and Robin also there. However, I personally don't think that firing at him will do anything that will cause that much damage. This may in turn just aggravate him, and with the powers that he holds in being connected to the entirety of the Upside Down, he may keep them as prisoners by latching onto them with the vines, and use them as a way of enticing 11 to the Upside Down in order to save them. This could also be why we see Robin hooked up inside of the Creel house. Dustin could also be getting held captive where he is. Hopper, Joyce and Murray in Russia. Whilst Volume 2 is going on with the group linking up in Hawkins and the Upside Down, I personally think that we're going to see Hopper, Joyce and Murray spend it in Russia, making discoveries and trying to escape from the prison. I believe that following the end of Volume 1 with them destroying a Demogorgon, their main intention is to now evade all of the guards and get out of the prison and make it back to the US. We saw a clip of them walking into a room where we saw Demogorgons looking like they've been studied on, but more importantly a dark entity floating around in what looked like a container. This could well be a part of the darkness from the Upside Down, or even a part of the Flayer. We've seen this darkness express itself before in Season 2 of the show, when 11 closed the gate, so it could well be something like that. It looks like there's going to be a lot for them to deal with the likes of the guards coming after them, a Demogorgon on the loose, and also a Demodog looking like it's about to attack Hopper. However, Murray with a flamethrower leads me to believe that whatever ones are there, they'll be able to escape and make it back to the US, and eventually be reunited in Hawkins. Mike and Will's journey back to Hawkins with 11 entering the void. I think we're going to see Mike, Will and 11 heading back to Hawkins, where they won't necessarily know where the group are, but 11 may enter the void where she'll be able to locate the group. I believe she'll see that Nancy, Steve and co are inside of the Upside Down being held captive by Vecna, and she'll also see that Max, Lucas and Erica are inside of the Creel house in reality, which will be the destination that they'll drive to. The Creel house in reality. I think there are going to be a couple of different things that occur from this point. We know that Max, Erica and Lucas brought UV lights with them, which is something that I'm presuming may not be susceptible to the turning off or breaking once Vecna's presence is noticed. So the attic will be filled with blue light. We're going to see Jason arrive at the Creel house with the aim of locating Eddie and the rest of the Hellfire Club for the death of Chrissy. Jason found out at the end of Volume 1 that Lucas was in fact part of the club, and that's where I believe the fight will break out. I think Jason will be prepared to kill Lucas, but I don't think Lucas will kill Jason. He'll win the fight but will not do any lasting damage. I think we'll see Max enter the attic, take off her headphones and pause her music, like we saw in the trailer. And whilst she's inside the Creel house attic, where Vecna's at his strongest, it will likely make her vulnerable. Here is when I believe, whilst Nancy, Steve and Robin are being held, they'll witness Vecna connected to the vines appearing to enter inside Max's mind. And just like in the clip in the trailer, I think we'll see her have her finest performance and go on to get claimed by Vecna. This could well be the final time that we lay eyes on the character Max. The fact that she has a tear rolling down her cheek says to me that this could well be the end for her. Either that or 11 will arrive at the appropriate time and be able to get her out of that state. Or 11's mere presence entering the Creel house could be something that prevents Vecna from claiming Max due to his distraction. Once this has happened and 11 has showed up, a couple of different things could potentially occur. The battle between Vecna and 11. Vecna and 11 will come face to face in the climax of the season finale. I think Vecna will aim to enter 11's mind when she is inside of the Creel house, and he's able to connect with the real world. Or we'll see 11 potentially enter the Upside Down. Henry Creel killed his family inside of the Creel house, which would mean that there could potentially be a gateway to get inside of the Upside Down, and directly to the Creel house inside of the Upside Down, which could prove to be extremely beneficial. I think we'll see 11 enter the Upside Down and we'll witness her encounter Vecna inside of the Creel house there. Once they've met, I think we'll see a face-off similar to what we saw in the Volume 1 finale. It will be an incredible moment when they lay eyes on each other for the first time in years, and she'll witness the monster that he's become. I believe Vecna will be on the verge of aiming to claim 11, and we'll see him enter her mind. We witnessed a shot of 11 with elements of the snowball being present, starting with the DJ stands and the records, then following with Vecna at the snowball, with 11 looking like she was rising up. I think this could be a hint of one way for 11 to get Vecna off her back. We know that happy memories and music are two things that are Vecna's weaknesses. One of 11 and Mike's first romantic moments occurred at the snowball back in Season 2, so she may well be thinking back to that time, and thinking of the song that was being played when they were dancing. This could act as a way for her to break free of the grasp that Vecna will seem to have on her. We've seen Vecna warp the surroundings in the past, so he may well be making it like the snowball, where we last saw the Mind Flayer present in its true shadow monster form. We know that 11 is being made to rise up based on the barefoot white trousers shot in the trailer, as Vecna is trying to claim her. But I think that by thinking of the memories that she's had with Mike, she'll be able to break free. I think this will come at a time where 11 and Mike's relationship is still going through that turbulent patch, and this will cement the love that she has for him. I think it is here where we'll then see 11 twist things on its head. In the trailer we saw a shot of 11 inside the Creel house, but it appeared to be fully formed, and it had the red-like hue that's present whenever Vecna is inside of somebody's mind, due to the fact that 11 is inside of the Creel house, in a state that we didn't previously see it in when Max or Nancy were there. I believe we could see 11 use the powers on Vecna, and actually enter his mind. She may never have harnessed them before, but she may well be able to enter his mind and get him to stop that way, and that's the shot that we may see at the end of the trailer. Henry had always been an odd child and cared little for his family, but I think 11 will likely be able to dig something out and use it against him. Once this is done, I think 11 and Vecna will battle like before, but it will take place in his own mind, once he's more vulnerable, and instead of opening a gateway into the Upside Down, she will simply destroy him. This will then free Nancy, Jonathan, Robin and Dustin, and if Eddie manages to survive, they'll then head back to reality, as the hold Vecna had over all of them will be gone. This is where I believe that they may think that they've solved everything and made it better, when in actual fact it could have been made worse without them even knowing. In the preview we heard, "It's over 11, you have freed me." This could be one of the last things that we hear in the season. We've been led to believe that Vecna is the Flayer's 5-star general, when in actual fact he could have been harnessing the powers of the Flayer, who he somehow managed to manipulate into using the powers of. Vecna's main mission was to open gateways, which we saw him do. The Flayer is unable to do that, and instead utilizes a host to carry that out. With there being gateways into reality and the Flayer's intentions of merging the two worlds as one, it could set up a Season 5 that quite literally is a battle of the two worlds, where we see the Flayer in its true original form for the first time in a long while. It would be an ending that would definitely make Season 5 feel like there are multiple things at stake, and the fate of the world as we know it. It would bring Will to the forefront more, as his absence in this season is something that would be more than made up for, as the journey he had in Season 1 is relived all over again, but this time with the fate of the world in his hands. I think Steve and Dancy are most definitely going to be together by the end of this season, as it's clear to see the romance blossoming, and I also think that Mike and Eleven will reconcile, and their previous arguments will be forgotten. So, there you have it, what I believe could happen in Stranger Things Season 4 Volume 2. If you want to see more videos on Stranger Things such as Volume 1 ending explained, theories and predictions on specific characters, or a breakdown of the most recent trailer, then click on the I button. Or alternatively, you can head over to my channel where you'll find them all. If you'd like to give me a show or movie to review, then head over to my Twitter, @BrainPilot_, and tweet me what show or movie you'd like me to review next. And finally, if you'd like to see what I rate movies that don't quite make the cut to getting a dedicated video, then head over to my Letterboxd profile. It's where I rate the latest releases in real time. What do you think is going to happen? Leave a comment down below, and don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you next time.